Anxiety disorders and phobias are some of the hardest disorders to diagnose. There are no chemical tests or blood tests, and it's one of those things where until recently doctors and friends and family would just say it's all in your head and you just need to control it better. Often family members can even make fun of and be pretty cruel to the family member that is afflicted with this condition. I saw something very sad growing up in the 80s where my dad would suffer from anxiety. And back then you couldn't really just call someone up and tell them about your problem or even go to your doctor to get help. Now, my sister would often be the biggest skeptic of my dad. She thought he was often overreacting and letting his anxiety control him. That was until we were going to fly down to Florida for vacation one year, and my sister had always said she had a phobia when it came to flying, but we never believed her. But on the way to the airport, she just could not sit still, and it was getting worse and worse. And by the time we got there, we all knew there was no way we were getting her on that plane. So we just had to go back home and pack up the car and drive. It turned a 7-day vacation into a 4-day vacation. But at least now my sister knew how my dad felt when it came to anxiety. And from that point on, she became more of an ally to my dad than she had been in the past, defending him when he was having an anxiety attack to people that didn't understand him. She also has since gone to counseling to help deal with her anxiety, and the good news is she has even flown since. Looking back now, I gave my sister a pretty hard time about her flying incident. That was until several years later I went to fly and something unexpected happened. I don't know if something changed in my brain or if I had just heard in the news a story of a plane that had just crashed, but I was experiencing the exact same thing as my sister when I was getting ready to board that plane. I had never experienced a panic attack before, but now I knew what it felt like. Now, some of you who have had an issue of trouble with flying, you remember the first time it happened, and you know how helpless you feel. You think you're coming unglued, and your skin is crawling, and you feel like you can't breathe, and your heart is racing, and you feel like the walls are caving in, and you have tunnel vision, and your head is ringing, and that you could pass out at any moment. That's what a panic attack feels like, and that's what I was having that day. I actually boarded the plane, but as soon as I got on and felt like I was totally confined in there, I had to get off. Everybody there thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. And now I understood what my sister felt like, and knew I would never make fun of her again, and felt really bad. Now that I knew what it was like to experience a panic attack and had a flying phobia, I had to figure out a way to get past it because my job required me to fly. I tried everything, counseling, drinking before the flight, or drugging myself up, but I still couldn't do it. But after a year, I finally found a program that helped me, and now I'm able to fly again without the fear and without feeling like I'm going to pass out. Where you are right now, you may be someone who suffers from panic attacks from your phobia of flying, and you think there's no way you'll ever be able to fly again, and none of your friends or family can understand. Well, you are listening to the voice of someone right now who does understand, one that knows what you are going through and how hard it is. Please, there's a link on this page somewhere. Click to find out about a program that can help you. If you're watching this video and it's on YouTube or someplace else, click the link in the information section and find out more information and get started. Forgive those folks close to you, and despite what they may say about you getting help, don't let them stop you. I believe you can, no matter what anyone else thinks. Good luck and God bless you.